Hey everybody, Shawn here. Welcome to another demo. I've got an EQ pedal to show you today. This one's made by Pettyjohn Electronics and it's called the Filter. There it is there. It's part of the Foundry series and it's a really great studio grade EQ. So let's go right into the controls. Now you can choose between 3 mid frequencies, 2 high frequencies, and 2 low frequencies via the switches in the center. So the switch in the middle top, that's going to allow you to choose between your mid frequencies. So to the left, you're going to be 460. In the center, you're going to be 1.8. And to the right, you're going to be 780. Now for your low frequencies and highs, that's going to be the switch on the bottom. So when the switch is on the right, you're going to be able to choose between 150 hertz on your low end or 4K on your top end. When it's in the center position, you're still at 150 hertz on your low end, but you're 6K in the top end. And then if you switch it all the way to the left, you're going to be 100 hertz, which is lower than 150, but still at 6K for your top end. Now all of these frequencies are bell frequencies. The only one that wouldn't be is when you throw the switch to the left for your 100 6K. I believe the 100 is shelved. Now for the controls, the potentiometers, top left is your level control, so that's the output. Top right is your mid control. Bottom left is your low control, and bottom right is your high control. Now these are cut boosts, so when these guys are in the center, the pedal is going to be relatively flat. And of course you've got your bypass switch, you've got ins and outs on the front of the pedal as well as your DC. And with this you can choose between anywhere between 9 volts all the way up to 18 volts for your power supply. And for this demo I ended up using the 18 volt power supply, and it worked great. So yeah, without further ado, let's check out the Pettyjohn Filter. Okay you guys, let's take this thing for a spin. I'm going to use my PRS Dave Grissom model guitar into my Red Plate Blues Machine amp. It's kind of a Fender circuit. And I thought a good way to start this demo would be to just kind of show you how I employed the filter to get the opening sound I used for the song. And where I started was I kind of wanted a neck position kind of, you know, sweet kind of sounding thing. And I thought that pickup sounded great, but I wanted it to be a little bit sweeter up top, maybe not quite so much in the lows. So I thought, well, I could switch to a single coil, but what I'm really wanting is like almost a mini humbucker sound. So once again, this is where I was. And here's how I used the Pettyjohn filter. I thought that just sounded beautiful. It's such a musical sounding kind of studio grade EQ. So let's just dig right into it. I'm going to flatten this guy out and let's just listen to the mid bell frequency. These are all bell frequencies, by the way, but let's listen to the mid. Right now I've got it in the 1.6K position, and let's just take a listen to that. It's flat right now. So just that tweak alone is so cool. You can get so many different tones. super musical, really usable sounding frequency. Let's check out 400 hertz. Here's flat. So that's kind of that fatter kind of round, low, mid kind of thing. And it works really great, especially if you're wanting to dial in some solo tones. Let's listen to 700. And I kind of employed that when I was getting the solo sound with the callings, the I-35 in the bridge position. I just kind of bumped the 700K a little bit. And as you heard, if you crank the 400 and 700 especially, you'll get a little bit of gain off of the box. So it just kind of helped kind of give me a saturated kind of tone into I used the second channel gain on the red plate. It worked great. So now let's listen to the high frequency really quick. We'll start with 4K. Now let's switch to the 6K. Once again, it's super musical. You've got two frequencies that you can choose between there, and they're both bell frequencies. And you have two frequencies that you can choose from in the low end. You can either have 150 hertz or 100 hertz. So let's listen to the 150 hertz real quick. And now we'll check out the 100 hertz. So both are really usable. I found that the 150 worked the best for me to just kind of tweak things in. Okay, so I kind of explained how I used the pedal for that first tone, and it just came out great being able to just. So we kind of know how I use it for that. Why don't we try thickening up like a back position, like let's go really thin. I'll split the coil on this guitar. And yeah, let's just see if we can thicken it up a bit. So here's just the guitar, split coil bridge. So that's pretty thin, and I've got it purposely that thin so we can see what this guy can do to kind of fatten that up. So why don't let's add some 400. And let's add some, yeah, we'll do 150. So that's with the pedal. Here's without. And we can even add some level. So that's pretty musical. It's really cool. It even adds kind of a cool kind of harmonic thing to it in the way that the amp breaks up now. And then we could add a little bit of 6K up there. So that's pretty killer. I mean, that works great. Just for the heck of it, I'm just kind of doing this on the fly, but let's try, I'm going to flatten this guy back out. Let's try turning on an overdrive pedal. I'll turn on the 45 caliber by Rocket Pedals. And let's just try like maybe fattening that up. As a matter of fact, let's try making it more of kind of a mid kind of bump solo box. So maybe we'll use 700K, and let's go, yeah, 150K. We'll leave the highs flat, but we'll add quite a bit of 150. So here's without it. And here's with it. So it kind of adds this kind of really sweet compression, and I was able to get like a really fat solo tone. So I mean, I felt like, I was just thinking, wow, I've got my rhythm box and my solo box sitting right in front of me. So anyways, that kind of concludes the demo. There's so many things you can do with this thing. And another thing you could try is running it almost as a mastering EQ at on the back side of your pedal board. Like in my case, I would run it probably after my last overdrive, but before any modulation or delays. And that would be another really great way to run this pedal. And it certainly has the headroom to handle that. It would be no problem whatsoever. So yeah, I can't think of anything else to hit on this. I mean, there's a lot, but this would be a week-long video if I let my head kind of take over. It would be bad, you guys. So man, as always, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate everybody that's subscribed to the channel. And yeah, stay tuned. I've got more to come. Thanks, guys.